Hey everybody, welcome back to Repower Garage. This is a quick one. It is a fuel filter change. You might remember that this Ford had a crushed fuel filter from the whole assembly hanging down below the frame rail, right in the middle of the wheelbase, so high centered. So just gonna use this as a quick opportunity to teach you how to change your fuel filter with the Cummins R2.8. So I've actually got an extra fuel filter housing here from my parts shelf because it's a little easier to see off the truck some of the things that we want to go over on this fuel filter housing for those either doing their first start or getting ready to plumb their fuel system, or those that are just doing their first kind of fuel filter maintenance. So a couple things on this. There is a bleeder port on top. Very important, don't miss that. When you're initially doing that first prime after you plumb your system, you might see guys on the internet, they're like, oh yeah, crack the fuel lines at the injectors, da, da, da. Don't ever do that on this engine. You don't need to. You open the bleeder screw, you can put a rag up there so once fuel starts coming out, it doesn't go everywhere. Then you unscrew that big plunger, the black plunger on this, and you pump it, pump it, pump it. You'll hear it start to squeak, and then you'll end up with fuel coming out of that bleeder port. Once your rag gets a little fuel on it, tighten that bleeder port and continue to prime. So you keep priming that pump until it gets nice and hard, and then your fuel system is bled. One easy trick to this is that last pump. It's really hard to get that plunger to go back in and thread it. So just leave it out, start your engine, and you can push it right in once the engine's running, no problem. I've also seen a few instances where some people have that first engine start and they're real excited, and then the thing just keeps dying. More often than not, that's a pretty common mistake, something they may have overlooked a little earlier in the build, and that ties to this fuel filter housing. So one thing you'll notice on it, if you look down from the top view, so before you install it or tuck it up somewhere, you'll see in the casting, there are directional arrows for the inlets and outlets. You can configure this in multiple ways. You can move both inlet and outlet to one side. You can make it pass through one direction, pass through the other direction, or make the inlet and outlet on the same side on the other side. So what you want to do is just ensure that you have the fuel flowing directionally from the tank through those arrows toward your engine, or else you will end up with a condition where the engine will start, but it eventually will starve itself of fuel. You can even use that trusty Sharpie if you really want to make sure this is visible before you forget about it. And the second you open that fuel filter box from your kit, take that Sharpie and color in those little chevrons on the castings, and that will at least help jog your memory that you need to pay attention to that. So quick fix if you've done that, not the end of the world, but pay attention when you're putting this thing together for the first time. When you get your new filter off of shopcummins.com, it comes with a new O-ring. Make sure you're using that inner O-ring as well. All right, so once you have fuel come out of that bleeder up top, go ahead and close the bleeder and keep pumping the primer until it gets really stiff. And then at that point, if you can get it in, usually takes 2 hands, and try to catch the threads. then you're good to go. If you can't get it in, like I said, start the vehicle and then you can push it in super easy. Take care of your engine and it will take care of you. Thanks for watching Repower Garage, and I'll see you next time.